Hi, you guys. I am here with Vay. So, Vay is a researcher, and she has come up with some really interesting ideas on showing about ancient China and Native American, or not American, like United States American kind of like petroglyph stuff. So, hello, Vay. Welcome aboard.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm originally from China. I've been in the US for quite a while. First came here over a graduate student. I have multiple degrees. One of my degrees is a master's degree in history. But since I left China, I left the mainstream academia for quite a while. But since it's my academic background, it's my major. So in my spare time, I always, pay attention to the trend in both the mainstream academia and the alternative, history society. So over time, I got to know there are tons of petroglyphs in the American Southwest. So I have this idea because Native Americans, they've been here for at least 10 years old, right? 10 years. So I think if I want to look into the prehistory here in America, I have to look into the petroglyphs because petroglyphs last longer than any books, right? Before even the writing systems were invented. So when I got the chance in COVID, I got a chance to travel to the national parks in the Southwest and uh, have myself in person,
Right, you got to see the
on this
petroglyphs in
site.
person. Oh,
Yes. So, so coincidentally, the first site I went in person is called the Monument in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Okay. So at that time, I followed a YouTube, Incredible History. We followed each other on Twitter back then.
Will.
So
Yeah.
after 3 days after I left the site, I saw his post talking about Doc Ross Kemp's research about his book, about what he thinks Asian Chinese writings found in Southwest American petroglyphs. So I thought, as a person who trained by the mainstream academia, I thought, no way, right? So Asian Chinese characters he talk about is like 3,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. I was trained by the mainstream academia said, okay, after the end of Ice Age, after the land bridge was submerged by the sea, the Americans were isolated until Columbus, right, found a new continent. I said, no way. But anyway, since somebody has already written a book about it, I have to look into it, right? So I purchased his book. The first time after I read this book, I tell myself, I don't think they're Asian Chinese characters because um, Asian Chinese characters are very similar to drawings, to the original symbols all the Asian culture used. So maybe they're just Asian symbols that was shared by all of the Asian cultures around the world. Maybe they are not exclusively Chinese characters, right? So, but when we particularly talk about the boulder at a monument in Albuquerque, so there are not only some petroglyphs similar or same to Asian Chinese characters, you can also find the two kings titles. Not only two kings titles, these two types relationship is father and son. And also, the father's title is in the center, on top. The son's title is at the bottom, at the corner, It makes sense. Because in ancient Chinese tradition, we put the people who is more superior on top. Okay, in the superior position on top. This is our tradition. So if I find the son's title on top, the father's title is at the bottom, it doesn't make sense. But everything makes perfect sense. Also, if you look carefully about these petroglyphs, you can tell uh, it's a description of a sacrificial offering scene.
All right. So this and this okay, so this is in Albuquerque.
Yeah, Albuquerque, it's New Mexico, and this is the particular border I'm talking about. The first person who discovered this border, not discovered this border, who discovered this ancient Chinese characters and the Song Dynasty titles was Dr. Kingley. He died already, but he taught. He was a professor at the University of California, Berkeley. He taught ancient Chinese writings and the Song Dynasty writings. This is exactly what his specialty was. Okay, so he was the first person who found these ancient Chinese characters and the king's titles on this particular border, and he told Dr. Ruskamps. So this is how Dr. Ruskamps got into this. Okay, so let me explain it a little bit. So the part circled in the yellow, so we can see there is an animal with an arrow going through his back, right? So this, for me, is a depiction of the theme of this whole panel. This is the animal of a sacrificial ceremony. Okay, so next to this animal with an arrow in its back is a utensil. So we in China, in the ancient Song Dynasty ruins, we excavated a lot of bronze vessels. Okay, bronze vessels were used by the bronze back then was very precious. Okay, they were only used by the royals. So a lot of time they use them as sacrificial vessels to offer sacrifice to their gods, or to their deceased ancestors.
And so you're saying that the bronze weapons had this shape?
Yeah, not weapon. They have bronze weapon, but basically different shapes with bronze vessels, containers. Okay, so this one is very similar to the unearthed bronze vessels, as unearthed bronze vessel in China, which were especially used for sacrificial offering. So next to this vessel, we can see an animal with an arrow into its back. So also the part circled in red is the father's title. The father's title, okay? So the one at the corner at the bottom, circled in green, is the son's title. So every other character circled in the one circled in blue stands for the reigning king. Okay, so the one circled in white, if you look at it carefully, you can see the left, it looks like a hunting tool. It looks like a hunting fork. So the image at the right is a dog. So these two combined together means when you hunt, you need a hunting tool. You also need a hunting dog. So these two combined together means hunting. or the hunt or to what you hunt. This character in Shang Dynasty can be a verb. It means hunt. Also can be a noun. It means what you hunted. Okay, so the character circled in black, you can see it. The upper part looks like two people raising hands, shoulder by shoulder, like they are doing this worship of presenting the action of presenting something or worship something. So this character in Song Dynasty means present. So the whole panel means the sun is, which was the reigning king back then, um, offering the hunted animal to his deceased father. So you can see there is a turtle in top center, right? Between the reigning king, circled in blue, and the deceased king, circled in red. Because in Song Dynasty, in ancient Chinese, turtle was considered a very sacred animal because their longevity and strength. So turtle was used as the medium between the living people and the deceased people, between the living world and the deceased world.
Okay.
So this is why you see the turtle sign is in between the living king and the deceased king. So everything makes perfect sense. Every character on this border can be matched with
And would you consider the thing on the black symbol, the ones like the two people underneath it, like a leaf symbol? Would you consider that the leaf stamp? That
this
long?
is looks like a niche symbol, but this is not a niche symbol. This structure means we just follow each other, follow each other. Let's move forward. It's like arrows, it's like arrows pointing together. So which means let's follow each other. We're going this way. Let's going this way, going forward, follow each other. Then let's raise our hands to worship, to present.
And would you consider where the purple arrow is a snake?
A purple arrow, which a purple arrow is not snake. It means a person is in the kneeling position with his hands raised. Can you screw up? We can go back to screw up. Yeah, we can go back to the part with this one circled. You can see I talked about this one.
Oh, and this is the weapon, or this is the
Yeah,
bronze.
this is an earth, the bronze vessel with a human head inside it as a sacrifice.
Okay, and let's see the one with the snake or the
Now this one means hunt. Yes,
there. Okay,
yes. Do you see what I mean?
the jai.
Yeah, so the lower part are all the authentic Song Dynasty characters, okay, unearthed in China. So you
And
see,
and when you have this like grid, but look, these are all other petroglyphs that have been found.
no, not petroglyphs, Song Dynasty writings
Oh, okay.
unearthed in China, unearthed on the bones, because in Song Dynasty they inscribe the characters on bones, on
Oh,
turtle bones or ox bones. Okay, this is all
oh, okay.
inscribed on the bones and unearthed in the last capital city of Song Dynasty in China. So you can see this. We call this oracle bone inscription. So they call these bones oracle bone because this bone were used for divination. So you see this character, they are depicting a person is in the kneeling position.
Okay.
So the only difference between the petroglyphs and the characters, the characters in the Chinese characters, this person is putting his hands on his knee. But in the petroglyphs, this person is raising his hands.
Like this?
Yeah, like this. Yes, this
Okay,
is
but from the side, yeah.
yeah, like raising his hand, presenting something, right?
Okay.
So yeah, so this is what this character means.
Okay, and then the pink arrow is
The
that
pink arrow, it looks like a hunting dog. So because in the Song Dynasty tradition, when the king was hunting, they always have the hunting dog accompanied. So I think this is just a depiction of the hunting dog sitting there, watching or guarding something like that.
mhm. So I'm from Albuquerque, actually. That's where I was raised. And so I'm all over New Mexico petroglyphs. I like love all them. And they always do, I always find it interesting. It's basically it looks like I don't know, they for me, the mechanism of how they're actually made is like they find this charred rock and this looks volcanic, but it's not. It's actually when you get there, it's like because you can see it underneath the green circle, there's like a part of it has chipped off, and that's like
Mhm.
so that's what the stone would be, and then it looks like it was charred by some high heat, and then somebody came along and carved on these, and you find that in like Three River petroglyphs. You find that all over the Gila when you're looking around there. You find it like in the Four Corners area on those kinds of petroglyphs. So I I often wonder, I don't know how they would date this. I don't know how they would
They
know how
cannot
old this.
date it. They cannot date the petroglyphs, but only in some rare cases they were able to date it. There is a site in Nevada near the Pyramid Lake.
Mhm.
They dated the petroglyphs there. Why? Because once upon a time, all the boulders were submerged and the lake. So there are lots of organic
Material with it, yeah.
yeah, material covered on the petroglyphs. So they were able to date the organic material. It turns out they were at least 11,000 years old. So which means the petroglyphs older, at least this time old, right? So, but in majority cases, they cannot date petroglyphs. But you can always by comparing because if they think, oh, this because the mainstream academia, they did the some basic work to categorize these petroglyphs. So what kind of style was made by what type of Asian people in that region? They did this kind of work roughly, okay? So they basic how they date it, they cannot date the petroglyphs directly, but they can date the artifacts or ancient ruins
Around.
around this petroglyph according to these the dating of the ruins and the organic coins and the artifacts. They can basically say, oh, during this period of time, this group of people lived here, left these petroglyphs. So this petroglyph style made by them, stuff like that. Okay, so for example, in this site, there are like thousands or 10,000s of different petroglyphs made in different time periods. Okay, so for some type of petroglyphs, the mainstream already know about their dates by dating the artifacts or talking to Native Americans. So you can obviously tell these petroglyphs on this particular boulder looks much older than other petroglyphs. They dated like 100 years old or 1,000 years old. You can tell by your naked eye they look older. Okay, by the weathering, the level of weathering and the darkness of their color. Okay, so basically the lighter color, the younger the petroglyphs are, but not necessarily because it depends on the weathering in different regions, right? So the thing I would like to tell to your audience is some people may say, oh, this is just a coincidence. This is just some Native American symbols. It happened to look like some Asian Chinese characters. So I've been to many petroglyph sites, both in person. I have watched at least 100 videos posted by people online in that region. Okay, so I also watched a lot of papers, books about Southwest American petroglyphs on this particular border. So because if they were Native American symbols, basically you can see them appear repeatedly in different sites. Okay, you wouldn't just see them once on the particular border, then you'll never see them again. No, in most cases, you see these symbols repeatedly appear in other sites in that region, because this is the symbol of this tribe, of this culture. Wherever they go, they carve this symbol everywhere in that region. Okay, so I can say on this particular border, except for the turtle symbol. The turtle symbol, you can see some similar one in other sites. All the other petroglyphs on this particular border, you cannot see them in anywhere else. So people may say, oh, there are lots of animal petroglyphs. Yes, it's correct, but not with this animal. This animal with an arrow on its back, you cannot find anyone which is same or similar to this one. Also, you just mentioned the snake one. So people say, oh, maybe it's a depiction of a snake, but I've seen so many snakes petroglyph in that area. And also in the same petroglyph site, there are lots of snake petroglyphs, but they depict the snake as like
Or like
zigzag
a line.
line. Yes, it's not like in this way, just basically they just a curvy straight line. They depict the snake like this, not this one. So I am very certain on this particular border, except for the turtle symbol, you cannot see any other same petroglyphs anywhere else in America. Oh, they say, oh, the cross sign, the one circled in red, the cross sign is everywhere. Yes, the cross sign is everywhere, but you can see the cross sign here is not a singular cross sign. It's next to another character.
This
So yeah,
cross symbol I find everywhere in the Southwest.
yes, this one you can see it everywhere, but here it's not a single cross sign. It's next to another sign. Yeah, here. So this is put together with this another character meaning great, meaning a emperor. So if they are Native American sign, you can see them a couple of times in other places, but it's not the case. You cannot see them anywhere else.
Okay. A lot of the symbols you find in ancient China, but like there's a lot of ones you're talking about that are universal, like the spiral or the Orion Bess is kind of
Yeah, there are lots of universal symbols. This is what I talked about in the other paper, the common cultural phenomenon. This is the all the symbols I talked the other one. So
have you
this is the at the same site in Albuquerque. So other king's titles. So in short, so at the same site in Albuquerque, I not only find the two king's titles in the border we just introduced, right? The son, the father, also other two king's titles. Yeah, this is the other two king's titles. So do you know what's the relationship of these two king's titles with the two king's titles above? So basically the one circled in yellow was the father's younger brother. After the father died, the younger brother was a successor. So the one circled in blue was the father and the younger brother's father, the grandpa. Okay, so they are four kings titles. They are four kings in the closest lineage. So the one in blue was the grandpa. The one in yellow was the father's younger brother. Then plus the two which we just talked about. So this is the four kings titles. But this is exactly the four kings titles. Not only can be seen at this site, exactly the four kings titles can be seen at another petroglyph site in Nevada. If you scroll down, we can see this is some other Song Dynasty characters related to divination, which means manifest auspicious result. So we don't go to details for this. We just take a look at another site down below. Yeah, this is the petroglyphs at another site in Nevada. So you see picture A is Song Dynasty character meaning king. So you see the same petroglyphs at that site. Many of these characters at a site in Nevada, meaning king, next to the king's titles.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, these all the same character, meaning king.
So what do you think that maybe these are older than we were thinking, or do you think that the Chinese culture came over after the barrier?
Oh, Chinese culture came here because the last capital city of this dynasty already unearthed in China, and also with tons of bones with writings on them, also with a lot of artifacts, bronze artifacts, jade artifacts. They can be dated around 3,000 years ago.
So you think that the Chinese culture had a way to get over here and was over here 3,000 years ago?
According to how do I date the time? Because the king's signature is on that border, right? The sun's signature on that border. The sun's title was at the bottom, which means in his reign, he sent these people here, carved these characters on the borders here, right? So this is how I date them because the reigning king's signature is there.
Oh, so you think that is the reigning king from
Chinese
1,000
characters
years
is
ago?
not the same. They changed over time. So after Tang Dynasty, the characters were a lot different. You cannot find the character match the later dynasty, only match the Song Dynasty. So this is another way how I date them.
Okay, well, that is fascinating, yes.
So you can scroll down because not only their titles, this is the king's brother's title. You can see this is exactly the same character
Like
appeared
this
above at the
age thing.
Albuquerque site, but here is the Nevada site. They have this same character everywhere. You can find like 10 of them.
Yeah, the upper one by the B is interesting.
And also these on this folder, there are all the king's titles, all the character meaning king. And also their family name. You can see their family name are carved on the, if you scroll down, their family name carved. Oh, this one is interesting. Okay, so this character, so the upper picture are all the Song Dynasty character, Song Dynasty writing of the word imperial or royal. It means imperial or royal. So the structure of this word basically is a person's head with lights, on over his head, right? So the upper part of this character is a person with lights, right, over his head, which means this is a royal person. This is a
Crown or something.
emperor. So this is why he has lights over his head. So the lower part is the character Wang, meaning king. Also looks like a person, right? Person with arms outstretched. But lower part is a character. So the structure of this character is the lower part is a character king. The upper part is a person with lights over his head. So you can compare this character with this petroglyph. They are exactly in the same structure. The lower part is a person body of the character king. The upper part is a person with the lines over his head. So you can scroll down a little bit more. We can see other versions. Yeah, all these characters are the same character, meaning royal, meaning imperial. You can see they all the same. The lower part is the character, meaning king. The upper part is a person with lines over his head. So this is their family name, their surname. You see, if you compare the petroglyphs below to their character, the character stands for their surname. You see, the structure of this character is like a vessel with two legs at the bottom, but with some vertical lines.
I can see it.
On top. So this is also another king's title.
There's that H. What's the U thing?
The U is a utensil used for ceremony utensil. So it looks like a utensil, right?
Right. Oh.
Yeah, this is the same character.
Yeah, no matter which way it's turned.
Oh, the more interesting thing is at the same site where I found the Song Dynasty king's titles, I also found them mingled with them some Indus Valley scripts. So the picture B on the right are the Indus Valley seal scripts. So Indus Valley was a Bronze Age civilization. It's dated like 5,600 to 3,600 years ago. Their cities unearthed with lots of seals with these scripts on them unearthed. So picture B, all the unearthed seals and weapons with this series of signs. The series of signs like the depiction of teeth, but they have different teeth. They have 2 teeth, 3 teeth, 4 teeth, 5 teeth, 6 teeth, but this is a group of signs. But this group of signs you cannot see anywhere else in the world except in the Indus Valley on these seals.
Crazy.
But what a coincidence! I see this group signs on the border in the petroglyphs also. Yeah, mixed with. So this is a very special sign. You cannot see them anywhere else around the world. But exactly you can see.
And this is in Nevada, you said?
This is Nevada, yeah, mingled with Song Dynasty. Because there is a series, say, the early stage of Song Dynasty wasn't in modern day China, was in Indus Valley. This is why at that time they used both signs. Because Song Dynasty lasted 600 years, and it's recorded in our history book. In our history book, it said Song Dynasty's king moved the capital city 6 times. So maybe originally they were in Indus Valley, or some catastrophe happened. They had to leave all the way to the east. Then they gradually moved to modern day China.
Right.
Then they set their last capital city in China. This is why we unearthed the last capital city with all of these bronze artifacts and with all of these bronze inscriptions on the bones. But it doesn't mean the dynasty was always there, right? People move, people migrate. You find the last capital city was there. It doesn't mean earlier time they were also there. They never changed. You cannot say that, right? So there are a lot of similarities between Indus Valley scripts and the Song Dynasty scripts. So this is why my theory is they were not inside modern day China in the early stage of this dynasty. So this is why this is other Indus Valley scripts I found at the same site mingled with Song Dynasty characters. Yeah, this all
Oh, this is right underneath that one little king.
Yeah, underneath the Song Dynasty.
This I've seen this all over the Southwest. This
this one I'm not sure. This one maybe it's a universal sign, not necessarily the Indus Valley sign, but the group of the teeth sign. These are very unique. You cannot see the group of teeth sign anywhere else except for
like this one. Yeah.
Yes, some signs you cannot say they are exclusively Chinese character or Indus character. Yeah, I just put them here to make a comparison. But that group of teeth sign, they are very unique.
Like the spiral's universal and the squatter man's universal, but
there are a lot of universal signs. We are going to talk about them. I think basically this is I give you another good example of the similarities between Chinese characters, Song Dynasty characters, and
that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting. This is the two scripts on the Indus Valley seal, but you see exactly very similar to petroglyphs on the rock in the painted rock in Arizona. But this also two Chinese characters.
It's pretty crazy.
Oh, this is the image on the Indus seal with a person in center, two tigers on both sides. We can see the similar images. Sometimes it's two snakes.
Right. I see the two snake thing a lot.
Yeah, but this one is a Song Dynasty character, exactly in the same structure, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah, here is very interesting. So the one circled in blue is a symbol on the Indus Valley seal, but the one on the left is a symbol cast on the bronze artifacts unearthed in China. But you can see they are same symbol. So this is not only the similarity. If you scroll down, you can see some other. How you see here? This is a symbol carved. The top one is a symbol carved on a pottery artifacts unearthed in China. But the bottom one is the symbol on in the seal. They're the same.
They are.
Yeah, this one also on a seal.
Which this one has like an Egyptian
No,
ankh.
this one is this the upper one. The upper one. These two are Indus Valley seal. Okay, this one is also
Like right here.
no, down there. You see yeah, this one. So the one circled in blue also the sun on Indus Valley seal, but the one in the text found on Chinese artifacts. So we find several same or similar signs can be seen on Indus Valley seal, also on the artifacts unearthed in China. So
Hmm.
this means there are some overlap or similarities between Song Dynasty symbols or characters
Yeah,
and
there's
Indus Valley.
definitely is an overlap.
Yeah, there's an overlap time. So this is why I tend to think the early stage of Song Dynasty wasn't in China. It was maybe in Indus Valley. This is why there is an overlap of this science. And also we cannot only see the overlap on the unearthed artifacts in China, but also here, because if early stage Song Dynasty people visited America at that time. So some of them were able to write both Indus sign and Song Dynasty characters. So when they came visit here, they inscribed both of the signs here at the same site.
Hmm.
Because the groups of the keys sign are very unique. You cannot find any other
Yeah, that's pretty interesting too, though, that it's like it's specifically names of the sills or of the kings, like, so
yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I not only find the king's titles, but also exactly the character, meaning king, and also their family name, right? The family name also a lot of characters related to sacrificial offering and divination. But the outstanding cultural trait of Song Dynasty are um, sacrificial offering and divination because we unearthed like I think 10,000 of um, records, 10,000 of characters on the bones unearthed in the last capital city of Song Dynasty. All these records, all these writings are about the Song Dynasty kings' sacrificial offering activity or the divination activity. Nothing but these two things. But what a coincidence, all the Song Dynasty character I discovered here, either king's titles or the characters meaning king, all the characters related to sacrificial offering and divination. It not only matches the king's titles, but also matches their cultural traits.
So what have you ever been to the Los Lunas Decolage Stone?
Well, which one?
It's called it's about 30 minutes south of Albuquerque. It's called the Los Lunas Decolage Stone. And I think it looks to me it they call it the Ten Commandment stone, and a lot of people think it's like ancient Hebrew, but to me it looks like Korean.
I know, I know.
Looks
Uh,
very Asian looking writing to me, and I've seen it in person.
I know that one and the incredible history talking about that one in both of his book and his videos. Um, that one is very controversial. Some people say they are newly made.
Right.
Some people say, oh, they are older. I don't know because I barely see a Native American petroglyphs, in that style.
Yeah, there are petroglyphs around it though that are pretty just normal Native American looking petroglyphs around that site. But yeah, I wasn't even 100% convinced of it going to it. It seems well, I mean, I know my dad even knew about it in high school, and I know that I mean, they have records of it in the late 1800s, so it could be made then. It's not like new, like within,
Yeah, it could be some could be made by pioneers. It's still
yeah,
like 200, 300, even 400 years old. But these pioneers, they definitely knew how to write ancient Hebrew or Greek, right? So it's very hard to say if they were made by original ancient Hebrew
yeah.
or Greek or by the later, white colonists. It's very hard to tell.
Yeah, it's a strange one, but I just remember thinking like, yeah, it kind of looks like Korean characters to me. Um, okay, so
A career character, I can tell you, it's no way new because Korean people they didn't use their own writing system until like 600 years ago. Before
okay.
the royals all used Chinese characters because ordinary people didn't know how to write. Only, royals, rich people knew how to write, but they speak their own language. But when it comes to writing, they only write Chinese characters. Just
So
like
then
the French conquered British at that time, the royal family only spoke British in the court. Same thing. So in ancient time, Korean people didn't have their own writing system until like around 600 years ago. They started to create their own language, own writing. So
mm,
if you see something like Korean writing, it couldn't be
that old,
older than 600. No way.
right? Well, and then that also makes me think with just how kind of rudimentary, I guess. I don't know if that's the politically correct word to say, but some of the petroglyphs are they're not a super refined, like detail oriented, and I wonder if the people who actually were writing on them only had an impression of writing, like maybe they weren't really super like let's say it was somebody from 3,000 years ago in China, but like let's I don't know how well they would have been able to read and write. I don't know how.
So only a few people knew. This is why if you see some writings that old, and especially related to king's titles and a sacrificial offering, it should be sent by the king himself because only a few people knew how to write back then. They, ordinary people didn't know how to write. So if this just a bunch of ordinary Chinese people, they came over here, their shape, got wrecked, and they just can leave these characters. No way, because the ordinary people didn't know how to write. Not to mention carve on the stone or bones. This is a specialized profession hired,
Okay.
used by the king, by the royal family.
Okay. So they would have been somebody of higher education that would have come and done this.
Yeah, and also would be sent by the king because all these higher education people worked for the court for the king. So there's no way they just left then came over, left China, came over there, did this. They should be ordered by the reigning king.
Now, the universality of petroglyphs in general is very bizarre to me because you have, I mean, you have like the hand with the ochre flowing thing, which is weird, and that's found like in France and South America and like Colombia and Chaco Canyon. It's found like really. all
Oh yeah,
over.
I talked
Yeah.
about this in the other paper. If you can
Yeah,
share the,
this is the other
yeah,
paper that you wrote.
put that one, share that. That one is more interesting than this one because this one you have to have some knowledge of Asian Chinese writing to try to comprehend that. That one, yeah, this one. So basically, you can see a lot of spirals all over the world, not only in the US, right? All over the world. So some spiral petroglyphs here have been proved are markers of, solstice or, equinoxes.
Right.
So this one is picture B is spiral at Chaco Canyon.
Which
Um,
broke, by the way. It's not working anymore.
Yeah, this is just a picture I got which can explain it. So now I want to talk about uh, the Squadron. The Squadron. So how I linked it to Orion. So basically, all over the world, especially all over the Southwest, American Southwest, you can see this squadron. So when I look at them, because wherever where I go, I can see the squadron image. So
Yeah.
when I look at them, I've always wondered why they depict this image with squadron position. I also always have this thing in between the legs, so you can always see Sam looks very humanoid, human figure. They are not animal. So you see picture D and E, they look like a human. They don't look like any animal. So if they are depicting animal, this one may be the tail. But you can tell in a lot of cases, they exactly look like a human, like a human figure. So it's not a tail, but what it is. So especially you can see picture I. Picture I is the image carved on the rock at a secret site in Mexico. Now this one is not in America.
Mm.
You see people still offering sacrifice, right? The thing below it are all the offering. So if people still have offering to this image, which means this is something significant or a god to them. Otherwise, they wouldn't put offering there. So if you can scroll down to, yeah, so you can see this one, exactly the same picture A are all the scripts images are carved on the pottery excavated from a Neolithic site in China. You can see exactly the same squadron image circled in red, right? Also, on the top of the building, you can see the same similar. This is on top of a building,
Oh,
traditional building
yeah.
in Southwest China. Yeah, you can see also. You don't just put a regular image on top of your building. It should be something big, something significant, something
Mm.
means God or whatever secret to the Asian people, right? So if you scroll down, so this is when I figured out the Scraderman is related to, yeah, this is a Chinese scholar. I followed him because he's the #1 person who studied the Asian Chinese astronomy. So he talked
England.
about all these images are Asian Egyptian. You've been to Egypt, right? I don't know if
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
seen
And
this.
Bess is all over
Best,
the
yeah,
place.
best. So when you see mass image, they always depict him with a phallus or with something in between. And also best is always depicted in the squatted position, in the squatting position, right? So, and okay, oh, if you compare picture C is a version of God Bess. Then you compare the God Best image to Orion. You just see picture D is Orion.
Oh yeah.
So we know the constellation in the sky, their position always move, right? Sometimes you can see Orion is next to Taurus, sometimes next to another constellation, but this time you can see Orion is next to a snake, which is circled in blue.
Mm.
So you can say Orion, there is a phallus-like stuff in between his leg. And also the one in picture D circled in red, you can see this is like
Like a hand.
a weapon-like in the half square shape. So if you compare the Orion image with the best image in picture C, you can tell it kind of exactly the copy of the image, uh, the Orion's image. So this is I got to know why they always depict Beth with a phallus, because Orion in the sky looks like a human image with a phallus. So now I got to know. I see a lot of squatter man. Sometimes you can see a singular squatter man image, but sometimes you can see a Spider-Man image with a snake next to him. That make me link them with a Beth image and also with the Orion image. Then you say, okay, let's stop here. So can you screw a little bit up? A little bit, yeah. So picture A, D, C are all the petroglyphs I found in American Southwest. There are lots of squadman next to a snake image. Okay, this is just some example. But you know, where is picture D found? Picture D is
Yeah, where's
the
that from?
image found on the pottery and earth in Middle East, in Mesopotamia. Picture E is a pictograph found in Sweden,
Oh yeah.
right? So some people say, oh, this pictograph is depicting a snake chasing a guy. I said, oh, a snake chasing a guy. Why the guy is facing the snake with his
Right.
phallus erect? You see the phallus?
Yeah.
Depict the phallus and erect. A guy is fleeing from a snake. Why his phallus is erect? It doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
And also he's facing the snake. So when you link this image with Orion, it makes sense. So picture F, also petroglyphs in Arizona. You can see the squatter man. Also, you can see the guy in the squatting position with hand raised off. Also, you can see the right one with a
Holding
stick
something.
in
Yeah.
his hand. So picture G is petroglyphs found in Denmark. Also very similar to the Beth image, with one hand holding a snake, the other hand was holding like a square or a ring shaped stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so they all depicted in the squatting position. So these pictures are all the petroglyphs found around the world, with
That's interesting with the
depiction this
ring and
person has a phallus or sometimes with a stick or with a snake next to his body. And also down below is a huge glyph. It's not a petroglyph, it's a glyph
geoglyph.
in
Yeah.
Britain. And picture K is a glyph in Australia. So they all depict a human image with a phallus and also with the hand raised, sometimes with a stick, sometimes with a snake. All over the world. You
Isn't
see,
this guy modern?
what, sorry?
Isn't this one in Australia modern?
Yeah, this one is in Australia, yes. Very similar to the one found in Britain next to it. Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
that one's
So
big.
when you see all the Asians depict a humanoid image with feathers, you will ask why? Why feathers are so important to them?
I do like the Orion. The Orion does have the little thing that sticks down from that belt, so that
Yeah, so if you scroll down, you see this is a seal excavated in Azerbaijan or now Turkmenistan and dated like 4,500 years ago. You see, this is also a squatter man image with a, because this is, if you scroll down a little bit, because this is a seal, if you imprint it on the paper,
like bow
this
tie
is
thing
also,
too.
yeah, a squatter man with a stick next to him. And picture B is Chaco Canyon. Chaco Canyon, you can find the same two images on the seal excavated in Turkmenistan, dated 4,500 years ago. But on Chaco Canyon, you can see the same two symbols. The left symbols are same. The right symbols are all the Squadman symbols.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is the same, no, the seal excavated from the same site in Turkmenistan. Oh, so let's talk about this. So you see the picture B. Picture B is ancient Western astrology.
Is
Picture,
this Göbekli Tepe?
this is the relief at Karahan Taipei. It's
Okay.
very close to Göbekli Tepe. Okay. So this is a relief, also dated 11,000 years ago, with a man raising his hand. This one is not blur, not too clear, but if you can see clearly, or not see carefully, this man is in the squatting position with his hands raised, also with a stick like stuff in his right hand. And also there is phallus-like stuff, but we cannot see it clearly in this picture. But if you compare this with Western astrology, how they depicted Orion and Taurus in picture B, you can see Taurus is in the squatting position with a weapon in his hand, with a phallus in his legs, and facing a bull, which is Taurus.
Hmm.
So this is how Asian people look at the two constellation in the sky. So what? So this is as above, so below. So this is why go back to the Taipei. Yeah, this is Karahan Taipei, which is very close to Texas. Go back to Taipei. If you scroll down, these are all statues excavated from go back to Taipei or Karahan Taipei. So
Yes, too.
they all depict the phallus, you say, and all in the squatting position. Their knees are always bent, always have a phallus. Why? Why their knees always bent? Why they always depict the phallus? Because they saw the sky. They saw Orion is in the squatting position, has a phallus.
Hmm.
You see that these are all phallus excavated in Gobek Tepe, Karahan Tepe region.
Yeah.
So this is very interesting. The one on the left, the golden one,
Hmm.
was excavated in Peru, but the right one is best excavated in Egypt.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Right, very similar design. We have a lot of interesting stuff. Let's scroll down. You can see some. So this is also the image, the picture A of the relief at Karahan Taipei. I think this version is the earliest unearthed version of this type of thing. So with a person in the center with two animal on both his sides, but the earliest version I think is the relief at Kalahari Taipei. Then you see the picture B is Indus Valley seal. Picture C is a plate excavated. I don't remember in Mesopotamia or I think it's in Mesopotamia. Picture D, the pottery scripts also depicted something in middle and two things. So E and F are Chinese artifacts. You can also see they have the humanoid image in center with two weapons besides this image. Yeah, all over the world. And if you scroll down, you can see more here. American A and B petroglyphs in Luni reservation. C, E, F are all Asian Peru artifacts. Picture D is petroglyphs in Nevada. You see, they all depict something in center with two sticks on both sides.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the markers of meridians, this is interesting that you had.
Markers of meridians. You see, this is a universal symbol. So picture A is American petroglyphs. B is the symbol on a plate excavated in Göbekli Tepe. So C, D are all over the world, pottery scripts excavated from ancient China, Neolithic sites in China, or Mesopotamia. C is pottery scripts excavated in China. D, I think, is excavated in ancient Iran or Iraq. So all these Asian pottery scripts dated from 4,000 to 8,000 years ago all have this same symbol.
Symbol.
Yeah, same symbol. From Mesopotamia and to Asian China to here, we all see how this is a very interesting site. So picture A is this petroglyph, a hill nearby Phoenix, Arizona, just by the Gila River. Okay, so I found this petroglyph, but also I found their government meridian sign, which pointing the cardinal north and south on top of this hill. So when I do the research, I found why the government have this, the modern US government have this sign, because it's like in 1800 or 18 something, like
Or
they are
1865.
already, this is a picture B and picture D, a modern one, put there by the US government. Picture C is I put the compass in my iPhone exactly on these petroglyphs. So these petroglyphs pointing the cardinal north and south as it's shown in picture C. Okay, so you have a petroglyphs on this hill pointing cardinal north and south. Later, you have US government have this cardinal mark on top of they are only like they're only like 10 feet away, very close. So why the modern US government put a sign here? Because they're an Asian sign put there. It was like in 1850 something. I cannot remember very clearly because there was an Asian sign. But my question is why people in 1800s put a cargo direction sign there? Maybe because there is an more ancient petroglyph sign. So when Spanish came over here, the local people told them, oh, this sign meaning cardinal north and south, so they put a sign here. Because when I put compass on this petroglyph, it exactly pointing, you see, as this shown.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Everyone can check on their own. If you go there, you put your compass on this sign, you can see if it's point cardinal, north and south.
Yeah. Hmm.
So this is why I think this petroglyph
So do you
means
think these were ancient petroglyphs that marked like
marked meridian.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, because Asian people, they just mark uh, the calendar, mark the direction on the certain points with petroglyphs.
Hmm.
This is just very popular universal sign. One is the cross sign, the other is swastika, right? We can see it everywhere, all over the world. These are petroglyphs, and also some, yeah, picture E is swastika found all over the world. So swastika is way earlier than Nazi or anything,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it was like an ancient peace symbol, but it also is like a
Oh,
force.
I learned from the Chinese scholar just mentioned. He has his research why we have this. If you want to talk about in India, we can go. I think it's scroll down. I There he has very detailed explanation what's the origin of the cross sign and the swastika. But we
Mm.
I don't think. Okay, you just scroll down. I just talked about it a little bit. Okay,
Yeah.
let's look at this. So this is the astronomical or celestial phenomenon which happened in the year. I think it's. Can you say it clearly? I cannot. 9,177.
Oh,
Right?
9,176.
Yeah. So anyway, so in this year, on the particular day, I think it's equinox or the winter solstice day or the beginning of winter day. Anyway, it's a very important day, either winter solstice or the beginning of winter day. This is a phenomenon appeared in the sky because now we use a modern software. We can trace back which day in ancient time how the sky looks like. Okay, by the modern software, we can always restore this phenomenon. Okay,
Mm.
so this is a modern software tells us on that day how the sky looks like. There are four constellations make a um, huge cross in the sky. Um, so, with time gone by, this cross sign rotate counter
Yeah,
cross,
each season.
rotate this way. So how did ancients tell direction or navigate or tells the seasons? They see the constellation, they see this cross turn a little bit, or they know this is change of time, or
Right.
different terms, a different time period, different season. They look at the sky to tell the time. The sky, the constellation change of the constellation is the calendar for them. So you see what a coincidence. These gold artifacts, the artifacts excavated in Britain. Okay, you see it exactly depict right? The phenomenon match the phenomenon in the year 9,177 BC. Okay, so you see in center there are four constellations making a huge cross, and you see the swastika rotate along them. Also, you see the bird rotate along. Why the bird rotate? If you scroll down, I'm going to explain why there is a bird rotate. This is Arcturus. Arcturus is a very important star for the Asians because the Arcturus rotate along the sky. So Asian people can tell the different seasons and terms according to the position of Arcturus. So this is basically the 8 different direction of this star can tell people of the 8 different solar terms for them. So this is why you can see a star-like symbol all over the world depicting the 8 directions. So some people say, oh, this is a star. Yeah, this is our star. This is a star which can tell you directions, not directions, can tell you different terms. So if you scroll down, we are going to talk about the rotating bird. You see the rotating bird. Oh, this is also, this is very interesting. Picture A, B, C are all the symbols excavated from Neolithic sites in China. Okay, so what a coincidence. You see exactly the same design on Native American Navajo rugs.
Wow, like that's pretty close right there.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but they're, when from Neolithic sites in China, when, on the Navajo's rugs, artifacts,
Yeah.
same design.
I've seen that symbol a lot in New Mexico.
Yeah, a lot. They still use this symbol to this day.
Here's the
Okay,
rotating
so
bird.
the rotating bird. So this constellation is called the Cygnus. You see the one circled in red is Cygnus. Because with the time gone by, the Cygnus position moving, rotating clock side. So counterclockwise. So this is why if Asian people say this bird, this huge bird moved in different direction, rotating along the sky, they can tell, oh, it's different time. So this is why all this, we just saw the golden artifacts depict a bird rotating along the outer cycle, right? We just saw the bird. If you want to check it again, you can go back. The golden artifacts.
Oh, the one that with the circle with the birds that go around.
Yeah, right. You see why they have this
Right.
4 constellation in center. You have the bird rotating around this. I think the Chinese scholar Dao Feicang thinks this bird just depicting the constellation, the bird, the huge bird, the Cygnus rotate along the sky with time gone by. So this is why we see the rotating bird artifacts everywhere. If you scroll down, you see that gold one is Britain. So yeah, this is this Cygnus. But you see,
oh yeah, I see.
Picture A is a gold artifacts excavated from China. They depicted this rotating bird. Picture B is Native American Yuchi tribe symbol. They have the rotated bird depicted also. You see, right? In 4 direction. Picture C is, I think it's excavated in Europe, but they also have the rotated bird in a different direction. So all the artifacts excavated from different continents, different sites all over the world, all depict the rotating bird. Why?
Yeah, that is pretty interesting.
Oh, this is very crazy. As I just said, picture A is a Native American Yuchi tribal symbol. Picture B is the same symbol excavated from an ancient site in Florida here. But guess where is picture C?
China.
Exactly the same one, right? This is a symbol on Indus Valley seal.
Indus Valley. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, they all depict the same thing with a cross in center with 8 triangles.
And I've
Right?
seen this D. Where's D from?
D from China.
D's from China.
Mm-hmm. E also from China. Always the cross in center with the
Circle.
rotating depictor along the outer cycle. And the big picture F is a jade artifacts from China, also with this 8 different direction with the bird. You see the bird?
Mm-hmm.
Also see the bird, right?
Mm. Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I later I found exactly the same artifacts with the 8 triangles, both in China and in Peru, almost identical, but I didn't put it because I found them later. So this one you see, I call it whale, steering
The
wheel.
whale. Yeah, it does look.
Yeah, you see the picture A and B are all the petroglyphs in America. Picture C, the pictograph in Santa Barbara, California. Picture D are the artifacts and earths in a mound
Mound.
in
Yeah.
America. Yeah,
Love
these are
that.
also the same symbol found here in America. But if you scroll down, it's very interesting. Picture A is petroglyphs in Japan. Picture B here is a sign on artifacts excavated in Egypt.
I was gonna say it looks like Egypt.
Picture C is a bronze artifacts excavated in China.
Hmm.
You see, same symbol
Yeah, you're like, huh?
in 3 different countries.
Yeah. I wonder what that's.
So I have an interpretation, but I don't want to go too much detail about this because we have a lot to talk. Yeah, just scroll down. This part is just to explain what's in my mean.
Ancient calendar.
Yeah, I think these are all the depiction of calendar. Sometimes they depict the 12 parts, meaning 12 solar months. Sometimes they have 13 parts, means 13 lunar months. Yeah, but there are lots of kind of calendar petroglyphs.
It looks like something from Ireland. Where's this one from?
This is from a mound. Maybe it's
Oh, wow,
from
yeah,
the
yeah.
mountain
Gregory Little. Oh,
Tennessee.
from Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, so I think this is artifacts which depict the combination of 13 lunar months with 12 solar months. You see the outer circle has 13, 13 parts. The inner circle has 12 parts.
Well, yeah, there are 13 lunar months. So, yeah, that's interesting.
Right. So I think I've seen a lot of petroglyphs with 13 parts
Uh-huh.
around the circle. So I think they are all they are all 13 parts petroglyphs.
Those are weird.
Yeah, sometimes these small bars, maybe they mark the movement of the moon, or they mark the days, dates. They calculate the dates, something like that.
Okay.
But Asian Americans definitely had sophisticated knowledge of astronomy than we think, than we give the credit to them. Because you can tell from the markers of solstices, equinox, or from the astronomical petroglyphs or calendar petroglyphs, you can tell they are not primitive. They had sophisticated knowledge in astronomy and calendar.
Mm, true. Astronomical markers.
Yeah, summer solstice marker. This one is proved by the mainstream academia, so they put a sign here. This one is in the petrified forest in Arizona.
Mm.
There are lots of sun movement sign. Now this one is in the Mrs. Farley's book. I think Mrs. Farley is the first person who dived very deep into the American petroglyphs. So she published a book in 1994 talking about the petroglyphs. She thinks that this is a cave in Colorado. Colorado.
What's her name?
Anubis Cave. Have you ever heard of this?
No, I haven't actually.
Yeah, they observed the sun movement. They found that on equinox days, the sun will form this human head, and the sun can on that day, sun just sunlight just shed on these marks. So these marks are also equinox day or solstice days markers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is, I think this is the Asian Native Americans did some manual work on the rocks, make it look like a human face, right? With a
Yeah.
mask.
Well,
So you can see, for example, in spring, the sun coming out from the mouse. Then on the first day of winter, the sun disappeared from the mist. So this phase is a marker of seasons.
hmm.
So Asian Native Americans used the landscape as the markers of the, calendar or astronomical phenomena. This is a petroglyph at a site in
Crazy looking
Utah.
one.
They did some research observation. Turned out that there are marks of lunar movement, moon's movements.
Where is this? Where is Powell
Yeah,
Gap?
the Power One Gap is in southern Utah, St.
Oh,
George.
Utah. Utah.
I've been there.
Hmm. By St. George. Okay, cool. I've been to Moab.
Yeah, a little bit far, maybe 2 days drive from Moab. Moab is a little bit close to Arizona, right?
Yeah.
St. George is close
South.
to Vegas, Las Vegas.
Oh,
Just
okay.
2 hour drive from Las Vegas. You see this symbol. This symbol, according to another petroglyph researcher, his name is Alex. He has a channel called Storytell by Alex. He did research on petroglyphs for decades. So, for example, he put his compass on the petroglyphs, which is picture B, right? It's exactly the depiction, not depiction, the indication of the cardinal north and south.
That's cool.
So we have this symbol in the Song Dynasty too. The picture D is a character, not character, symbol found in the Song Dynasty inscriptions. Picture C is a symbol on the Indus Valley seal. Oh, this is a cross and a swastika symbol found on the pottery.
And the bow tie. What is the bow?
Yeah, these are all symbols on the pottery excavated from You see Iran, ancient Iran, it's dated
Yeah, that looks like a bird.
6,700 years ago.
The lines, dots, and rays.
Yeah, you see the lines, dots, symbol
Yeah,
everywhere.
like this sort of things, like the
Yeah, these are all the,
this, that's all over the
yeah,
Southwest,
all over the world. These are
which I do.
pottery scripts found in Iran. But I see these petroglyphs everywhere in America also,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
right? This is, yeah, similar petroglyphs here in Southwestern America, right? This zigzag line, grades, and dots.
Mm.
So I think the Asian people all share the same script, same language for thousands of years. So you see this leaf sign, you can see them everywhere, from the Neolithic sites in Mesopotamia, China.
South America.
Yeah, these are all pottery. You found the leaf sign. No, you found a lot of leaf signs here in America too.
Yeah.
The petroglyphs. So I think the leaf signs in ancient time is another very important universal sign, right? The leaf sign is everywhere.
Uh,
You see here, here is the
yeah,
image.
coming out of the,
In the picture A is a petroglyph in Mexico. The picture B is an image carved on the stone excavated from Indus Valley. You see, they all depict a god image with this leaf on top of it, and they
Mhm.
also offer sacrifice. They still have
A is a bit of a squatter man doing his thing.
yeah, Spider-Man, they put this leaf sign on top of the Spider. I think Spider-Man depict Orion. Orion was God to Asians all over the world. So they worship Orion because Orion is one of the most brightest constellation in
Solutions.
the sky.
It's
They say,
definitely one of the most prominent.
yeah. So this is another group of sign. And sometimes they have 3 bars, sometimes they have 4 bars, 2 bars, two horizontal line. Anyway, this is a group of sign with 3, 2, 4, 5 vertical lines.
This having to do with some kind of number system?
No numbers. I think this is a sacred sign. I have my explanation because we have, you see this, you see it everywhere from the Neolithic sites, pottery, to Indus Valley, to Asian Chinese,
Mm,
also to the American petroglyphs. This is a very universal sign. You can see them everywhere. So, okay, why I have my own interpretation of this sign? Because you see, picture A is Song Dynasty characters, meaning meaning king, meaning jade. Because only jade had the right to use, only king had the right, kings had the right to use jade for the ceremony. So this is why you see picture B is cuneiform. The original version of cuneiform means king, means the great one. So from Asian Chinese characters meaning, also from the meaning of the cuneiform, they all say this sign meaning is the great one, means great. So my interpretation is this universal sign or these groups of universal sign may be related to the meaning of the great or the emperor or the chief, something like that.
Okay.
Because I have more evidence. You see picture F. Picture F is a petroglyphs. You see, yeah, you see this sun, and you have a like a king's image, next to these two signs, right? because this person is in squat position with his hands like this. This is not an ordinary person. This is
Right.
like some king or chief or god. So this is why they put the sign next to this image. Also, according to ancient Chinese writing and the ancient cuneiform meaning, this sign means the great one, the great king. So I tend to believe the meaning of this universal sign or this group of this series of universal sign is related to the a great one.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, that's really interesting. That is, where's this one from?
A, B, C are all American petroglyphs. D are
Okay.
American petroglyphs. They are all American petroglyphs. The H and I are the signs on the Native American rock. I don't remember this Navajo, but yeah, also Navajo.
Mm.
Oh,
Deity.
this sign like a coal is everywhere. You see them everywhere. The picture A is excavated from a Neolithic site in China. Picture B is excavated from Mesopotamia. Picture C is excavated from the most ancient European Vinca culture. Vinca culture is dated back to 4,000 to 8,000 years ago. Vinca culture is very old. They all have this same. So A and B, A, D and E are the sign next to a God image on the Indus Valley seal. So what a coincidence, you also can see this sign on the in the American petroglyphs. Also, this sign will put next to a God image, right? You can see very clearly from picture F. In top center, there is a God image with this symbol next to him. And below this God image, you can see a guy was, bring two sheep to offer to this God.
Right here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a depiction of sacrificial offering thing to the god. So this is why, according to the depiction on the Indus Valley seals, D and E, also from the American petroglyphs, I tend to believe this sign's meaning also means the title of the god, or the title of the
Oh,
sacred
the name of it. Yeah.
the Asians. Yeah, this is another. So maybe it means raining God, because it looks like rain to me.
Oh, like the rain god.
Yeah, the rain God. I guess I'm not sure.
Oh,
So
that's
what
great.
a coincidence. Picture A is a petroglyph in Nevada. Picture B is the same design, same symbol on the pottery excavated from Indus Valley.
Oh, yeah. It's the symbol for wizard and shaman. Like this one I love.
Yeah, this picture A is Song Dynasty character, meaning shaman. But this symbol is also a universal symbol. You can see from Asian European Inca culture to American petroglyphs to Native American rock. Everywhere you can see this universal symbol.
Yeah,
And
that's,
also,
I know that symbol. I've seen that one a ton. It's like, you know, the
yeah, you can
cross
see
with the
picture
eyes.
D. Picture D is a petroglyph in Mexico. We just mentioned it. On top is a Squadman image, right? The
Uh-huh.
Squadman image with the leaf sign on.
Right, with the leaf stamp underneath.
Yeah. So below, next to it is the wizard, or the shaman sign next to him. So I think it makes sense because in ancient time, only the shaman in the tribe had the right to communicate with the god to do the
Mm-hmm.
ritual and the ceremony. either the chief, the king, or the shaman. In most cases, the shaman was the chief of the tribe. So it's the sacrificial ceremony rituals cannot be done by any ordinary person. It should be done by the shaman or the chief. So they only them had the right to do this. So this one is meaning four corners. So picture A is a Shang character, meaning four corners. So I exactly saying the same one. This is in the Valley of Fire in Nevada.
And then hun, let's see, we got
Yeah, this
a
is
little spiral.
a square spiral.
Square spiral. Oh, I've seen the square spiral a lot, like even in
A
Arizona.
lot. It's not only allowed here, around the world also, and also this square spiral is very typical design on the Asian Chinese bronze artifacts.
Yeah, that's like Greek or something. G.
Yeah, it's everywhere on lots of bronze artifacts excavated in China. If you compare picture F, you compare picture F, which is the petroglyph in Mexico, to picture H, which is designed on bronze vessel in China, you see it's
Very
almost
similar. Yeah.
identical,
Yeah. Yeah, that's
right?
very true. Oh yeah, this is like people think this is like the DNA symbol or something.
So in this is also our Egyptian hieroglyphs. The
Hmm.
meaning of the in the Egyptian hieroglyphs is go up, scroll up a little bit. I already yeah.
The symbol.
So in Egyptian hieroglyph, it means twisted flags.
It's like rope.
It's like thread, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, it's like fabric, twisted thread or cord, stuff like that. So this is a meaning in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. So you see it in ancient Inca culture, ancient Chinese pottery scripts, and American petroglyphs.
Hmm. I know I saw this one on a horse ride outside of Moab.
Yeah, this is another very, very universal symbol.
Oh, so this
Oh,
is the
this one
numbers.
is so interesting. You can see the relation, there is relation between Indus Valley civilization and the Egyptian, because this M is a number 10 in ancient Egyptian culture. Okay, it's number 10, but also means number 10 in Indus Valley civilization. And they always put them like
On top of
in
each
a
other.
vertical line. Yeah, to depict it. But then you see, it's exactly here in the American petroglyphs. Picture C is a petroglyph in Valley of Fire in Nevada.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe they're depicting how many animals they hunted. they,
Right. They're
down.
counting up something.
Yeah, something related to numbers. I call it the entanglement sign.
Oh
This
yeah,
is
this one I've seen. This one is a really cool sign.
yeah. This is also you see it's A is on the pottery excavated from Iran, Iraq. A and B also all excavated from Mesopotamia, but C is on the Indus Valley. D is American petroglyphs in Arizona.
Mm. So the lower world.
Lower is ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, but I found exactly the same symbol here in southern Utah. B is petroglyphs in southern Utah. C is exactly the same as the Egyptian
It's similar to
hieroglyph.
the five-starred will thing.
It's different. 5-star, it's a little bit different. You see,
Because there's
these,
no circle in the middle.
yeah, different design in the center. It's different design, but the C is in Vietnam. A petroglyphs in Vietnam, exactly the same as Egyptian hieroglyph.
Oh, okay, now this one.
Yeah, you see something. You see something like a lot of headdress on a person's head, like look like, right? So picture A is um, a sign on the pottery excavated from Mesopotamia at the Neolithic site. Picture B is a petroglyph in Arizona. There's the three branches, or you can call it bird, bird feed.
Bird feet, yeah.
Three branches. This one is very interesting. Why? Because picture A is a plate excavated from Göbekli Tepe. You see, the three branches is very unique, with one branch much longer than the other, right?
Uh-huh.
So you see the one at Chaco Canyon. Picture B is the petroglyph I found at Chaco Canyon. They exactly same with one branch much longer than the other.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Like
Right? Basically, I see a lot of bird feet,
bird feet.
but they are same long at the same length, right? But
I mean, it looks like those pitchforks things too.
yeah, so I think some are depiction of bird feet, like I'll track the bird trail stuff, but this one I think different from the chicken feet thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, some petroglyphs maybe the depiction of bird feet or chicken, not chicken. They didn't have chicken in the wilderness. They just depiction the bird feet, bird tracks.
Yeah.
But this one is very unique because they have the branches,
Very similar though with the different length.
yeah, to the Gobekli
There's
Tepe.
the hair again.
This is some dynasty character petroglyphs I just introduced.
Sean
But
Dynasty.
very interestingly, we scroll down a little bit, you can see the three bars everywhere. So you see the three bars.
Uh-huh. On the head.
Picture C is a bronze figure excavated from the Song Dynasty site in China. They have three bars on this person's top head, you see. But here, American petroglyphs, they also have the three bars on the figure's head.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, why is three bars? I don't know.
The eye and the hand. That's that.
The iron in the hand is A and B as a bronze hand with eye inscription on it. So picture C is a petroglyph, a hand petroglyph I found where the Song Dynasty king's title at the same site. Also found a hand in the same design as the bronze hand excavated from the last capital city of Song Dynasty. I don't know. You say the
they're pretty similar.
yeah. I've seen a lot of hand petroglyphs here in America, but barely I see one with this design. You know, right? I believe you have seen a lot of hand petroglyphs also, but they are basically just a regular hand.
Right.
Yeah,
This has got a similar.
depiction regular hand, but this one is a very special design, but it matches the bronze hand excavated from China in the Song Dynasty. It's buried in the royal tombs. So maybe this bronze hand back then in that dynasty is very, very important, racial, ceremony, stuff. So this is why after the king died, he took it in his tomb. Maybe this is a very, very important
And
uh, ritual stuff. So this is why when they came over here, they not only carved their king's titles on the rocks, but also they carved this hand. But I'm not sure, okay? Because this is not characters. I cannot depict the meaning. I just guess.
right, right.
So eye in hand, right? Eye in hand.
The eye and hand's a very big
Yeah, eye in
Indian.
hand, many, very universal from Mesopotamia to America, all over the world. We have this eye in hand symbol. Native Americans think the eye in hand is an orgy, which means after you die, you go through to the heaven through this eye in hand. But in Chinese, we have an old saying, which is eye in hand leading to the heaven, exactly same as what the Native Americans ideology.
Hmm.
So this is my guess or my interpretation. You see picture A with Orion, the Squadman in center, on top with all this eye around this sun. So I think in a lot of cases, the hand sign means worship, means offering. Because Asian people, when they doing the ceremony, raise their hands. You can see the Egyptian hieroglyph, the raising hand symbol means offering, means worship. You can see from Asian Chinese Song Dynasty character, they have this raising hands character, meaning offering, worship. So according to Asian Chinese character and the Asian Egyptian hieroglyph, I tend to believe the hand signs all over the world means offering, means worship. Because,
Well, these feet, the worship, I could see that being the worship thing, but the feet are weird because they all have 6 toes.
yeah, sometimes five, sometimes six. Yes. I have no idea about the fate. Some people say the fate is like the depiction of the tracks.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not sure.
like
Yeah,
another animal that's not.
I feel like the hands means worship, means offering, because they usually put the hand sign in their secret sites, in
And
their
this
secret.
one, this D is like, um, this is that's where they like put their actual hand there and then blow ochre on it. So that's an actual, those are actual handprints. They're not,
Yes, yes. Some are actual. Yes,
which these are just carved.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Some are actual hands print. Some are just carved.
But yeah, that's a definitely a global thing where people like record their hands. I don't know. I've heard people talk about it could also be like, I don't know, like a
You
picture.
know what the mainstream academia's explanation? They say, oh, they just test the paint.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't have any
I
real.
don't think they're going to test anything at their secret site. They can
No.
test it. So a lot of time you see the hands appeared in their traditional secret site, where they do the ceremony. Why they test something at their secret site? So
Yeah.
this is why I tend to believe the means offering, the means worship.
Means something. Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh yeah, these are really interesting. I want
This one is in also in southern Utah. I
to.
tried twice. I tried to be there. Once it was snow, I cannot get there. The second time, I'm already at the trailhead. Then the ranger told me it's about to have a rainstorm. I cannot go. So I failed to get there twice, but the
I want
ranger,
to go there. There's also very similar ones to that in White Mountain,
yeah, Wyoming.
Wyoming. Yeah.
I did ask the ranger about them. The ranger told me they are not old. They are pretty new. They're newly made a couple of years ago. So they are not ancient one. And also they're sandstone, and some people just showed me they just can use their bare hand to make this print on the
Oh,
sandstone.
it's that soft.
Yeah, this is very soft sandstone. So so picture A, I don't think they are ancient. But picture B is very interesting. You have
It
this
almost looks like it pops out.
yeah, this is a cave in China, in northwest China. The cave not only have these handprints, but also have many iron pipes. You can see that
Oh,
below the
interesting.
handprints are pipes, natural oil pipes all over the cave and inside and outside the cave, the iron pipes dated 15,000 years ago, 1,500,000 years ago.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. They found some in ancient or in Rome recently too, some iron pipes that were kind of convincing, like very modern plumbing, which was really weird.
This pipe not very doesn't look very man-made. Look more like natural to
Oh, you
me.
mean?
But why they are in the pipe shape, I don't know.
I don't either.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. And also with the hands.
With the hands being like outcropped like
Yeah,
that,
so
that's
which
really
means
weird.
Asian time definitely Asian people lived there, right? In that cave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe they were
Oh,
carved.
the birth scene. So picture A is a play excavated from Göbekli Tepe. Picture B is a pottery excavated from Neolithic site in China. So below are all Native, no, I cannot say Native American, just the American petroglyphs.
Yeah,
They all depict the birth scene.
yeah, the birds are interesting
You know,
one.
the double-headed birds is a very typical symbol in ancient Europe, right? The Greek, in ancient Greek, ancient Roman. So you also see the double-headed here, petroglyphs here in Southwest.
The double-headed dragons. Okay,
The
that's
rabbit dragon. So the left one is in Peru. The right one is artifacts excavated from the Neolithic site in China.
cool. That is really cool. Let's see. All right, and then
The site in Mexico I just mentioned with the squared man image. So at the same time, not only found the squared man image, but also find the shaman, the character shaman, picture A.
mm,
Also find the
mhm.
character king. The picture A is the character shaman. Picture B and C are character king.
Yeah, and
So
it's interesting to have that double, like it's like the traced symbol.
yeah, because in this is in Zhou dynasty, the dynasty following Song dynasty. Picture D is the Zhou dynasty character. You see, they depict the character king with design, you know. But what a coincidence! The you can see the similar design in the petroglyphs in at this site in Mexico.
Hmm.
Yeah, this sign also have many the square spiral sign
There's spiral.
as the design on the bronze artifacts. Yeah, that's all.
All right. Well, cool. Let me get back to this.
So my question to the mainstream academia is, according to them, after the end of Ice Age, the Bering Bridge was submerged by the sea, right? Then from then on, the Americas was isolated from the rest of the world until Columbus found it in 1942. But if this is the case, why all this universal signs only dated from between 4,000 to 7,000 years ago can also be seen in America? So a lot of signs are not very ancient, only dated 4,000 to 5,000 years ago from the Neolithic or Bronze Age sites.
Mhm.
If they are isolated, if Asians didn't have any communication, why we can say this universal sign also here? Because if you say, oh, they brought these signs with them before 10,000 years ago, but 10,000 years ago, we didn't see this sign in the old world. We started to see this sign only started like 7,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, right? So how this sign came over here?
Well, I mean, like, yeah, that, and that's a good, so, I mean, I think we were global before they're telling us we were global. I mean, or we must have had a way of traveling besides the Bering Strait.
My theory is some signs are very old, maybe 10,000 years ago. They brought them because Native Americans migrated here, not at once. They thousands of 10,000 years ago they came, 10,000 years ago came. After the bridge was submerged, they also came because the people living in the Russian side, okay, nowadays Russian side, back then the Asian side, they always knew there is a land here because their people always moved from Asian side through the bridge to this side, right? So out of a sudden, it was submerged. So people just like, okay, forget that. They might be our, cousins, right? People live Asian side. They knew their relatives moved all the way to the other side through the bridge. Even if the bridge was submerged, people just kind of forgot them. Okay, like they never knew there is a land across the Bering Strait. Not to mention, if you zoom in, you can find that there are three or more islands in the Bering Strait. So I followed a YouTube. He visited because you have to got invited by the native, then you can visit it. Okay, only a few people can visit the island in Alaska in the Bering Strait. So he got the invitation. He did there. Then the natives told them they and the Russian native on both sides are the same nation. So until 1990s, the Russian native visited them by whale skin boat, not modern boat. So if people can visit them in 1990s, why Asian people couldn't come over from the Asian side by whale skin boat? Also, Alaska native, they just whale hunters. They live on whale hunting. This is their way of living for thousands or 10,000 of years, okay?
Mhm.
If they are good whale hunter, they sail like 20 miles. It's not a big deal for them. So
Yeah.
I I don't think people couldn't come over here. People always can come over here
I mean,
after
you also have like the Polynesians like populating Hawaii, the Hawaiian
yeah.
Islands, and all. I mean, there's a lot of stuff where I think we could have had examples of people coming over to the Pacific coast way before they're telling us they did.
Yes, because I don't understand the mainstream academia. If they think Polynesians can sail in the Pacific Ocean, right, to all these islands, like 2,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, why they don't think people cannot even come over the Asian side through the islands in the Bering Strait to America?
Yeah,
It doesn't make
exactly.
any sense.
It doesn't. You're right.
Right? The distance is much, much smaller than the Phoenicians sail on the Pacific Ocean to the islands. They admit Phoenicians were able to sail, but okay, people from the Asian side were not able to even sail 15 miles to the islands.
Right. You're right. It's ridiculous. So I think, and this is pretty good evidence that, hey, there was some cross symbol, like there was cross cultural symbolism going on way before there should have been.
Yes, so I think Asian people always knew there is a land across the street. After the land was submerged, it's difficult. It's more difficult for them to come back and forth, but they were always able to. The communication has not been stopped. It became difficult, but it's not stopped.
I agree. That's a really cool. I like that conclusion. So I love your work, Vay. This is really cool. So are you going to continue to just study more petroglyphs and look around, or is this what you're currently
Not more practice because how did modern scholars decipher ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs? Because they understand ancient Greeks, then they found this stone with Greeks and hieroglyphs
doing
together.
the
Then
Rosetta
they
Stone?
understand the ancient Greeks, so they were able to decipher the Egyptian hieroglyphs as per the ancient Greeks, right? So for me, the same thing, because I understand the ancient Chinese characters, meaning I I found the pottery scripts excavated from the Neolithic sites. I can compare them. I have this reference to do this. But earlier than this, I have nothing to do the comparison, to do the study, because before 8,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, nobody and is able to figure out the meaning of this sign because it's lost forever. There's no reference left for us to do the research to figure out the meaning or whatever, right?
Right.
So I just feel like this is how much I can do about the American Petroglyphs so far. But if I get chance, I might stay in Peru for like several months to do the research because I think if you want to figure out what happened in our past, you cannot skip Peru and Egypt.
Nope. Peru's like crazy. And I've
Yeah,
spent a lot of time in Peru, and it's yeah, it's something major happened there. So
yeah. I think I don't have too much work to do on petroglyphs here, but a lot of work to do in Peru or Turkey, right? Turkey, go back
yeah,
there,
like you
and
said.
there's so many mysteries there. Yeah, but I don't know, we have a lot of reality to deal with, right?
True.
But I don't know. I hope I can do some research in other parts of the world. Let's see.
Hopefully. Well, this has been super fun, and I think like please, anytime you come up with new theories, call me up. I'll have you back on. This was like really fun. I think it was a good interview. I thank you for walking us through everything you discovered. I think it was uh I mean some of the symbols like between the dynasties and the signatures for me are kind of hard to deny. They're they're definitely, I think there's a correlation that see people are going to have to pay attention to.
Yeah, I think the mainstream academia, they at least have to discuss about this, right? They cannot just ignore them like they don't exist. Yeah, so this is why I have problems with them. At least look into it, look into
At
them,
least look at it. Yeah.
and
Consider
get
it.
taught, right?
Right.
They just hide. They just like, oh, we don't see them.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's I mean, to be fair, I don't really look at a lot of what academia posts. So a lot that maybe they are saying stuff that I don't even realize they're saying. So I just think that they need to expand their ways of coming out with knowledge too, because not that many people go and look at academic papers.
Yeah, I didn't do the research on purpose because I was outside of academia for quite a while. I didn't do it on purpose. I just went to, travel there, found these perspectives that and I happen to have this knowledge to do it, right? Because nobody did that. There are so many archaeologists here, the stones lying there for like hundreds years since, since
Hmm.
people came over here from Europe, right? So you have archaeologists here. You have people who study ancient Chinese writings, scholars who study ancient Chinese writings here, anthropologists here. Nobody pay attention to these petroglyphs. Nobody even notice them.
Petroglyphs are very overlooked. And I also think in general, a big thing is people compartmentalize one site and just look at that site and compare and like mark what's all at that site, but they don't compare it to other places in the world. It's just about this one site. And they do that all over the world. Like it'll be like,
They don't even realize there are lots of similarities between the petroglyphs and the pottery scripts excavated from the Mesopotamia, Indus Valley, China, and Egypt. I happen to have this knowledge because I'm from Asia. I majored in history. I happen knew about this Neolithic scripts. And also I happen to see the petroglyphs here. So I'm
right.
kind of because the only person who knew the similarities here. But I think anyone from the mainstream academia, if they just pay attention, it's not difficult for them to find the similarities, all the common cultural phenomenon.
Yeah, I don't think I um but that's the thing is like I'm at a point where I don't think we have to just rely on academia. We are the academia too, we
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And it's
We
good that
are
people like you are doing this
yeah,
because
as
if
long as we do the research as per the academic standards, we present evidence which
yeah.
meet the academic standards. We are the academia, right?
Yep, exactly. I mean, and you're showing like these are the examples, these are their similarities, this is what this means over here. This is the window. I mean, that's you're doing something about it. You're not just talking about it, you're presenting it. And I think that's a really noble thing to do. So thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me. I always enjoy your conversations with a lot of cool people all over the world. I learned a lot from your channel.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, I'll continue to do that. And thank you so much for being a part of this. No, thank you. This was really cool. And I'll continue. I need to be I've taken so many pictures of petroglyphs that I've never put up. I've never put them up but there's some places like Three River Petroglyphs in New Mexico. It's kind of by White Sands. That place, tons of the circles with the cross in the center, all these little dots. There's thousands, like 3,000 petroglyphs.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Three River Petroglyphs,
Three
right?
River Petroglyphs. Yeah.
I watched a lot of videos about that site. I think a lot of petroglyphs are depicting of astronomy. you
Yeah,
know, related to astronomy, the sun's movement, moon's movement, stuff like that. Yeah,
I think so too. I think there's a lot going on, but they mean something. The petroglyphs mean something. They aren't just for nothing.
yeah. In a lot of cases, the petroglyphs all mean something, and all have significant meaning to the Asians. Otherwise, they wouldn't have carved them everywhere again and again, repeated them. They just mean something like the symbol of the tribe or something meaning significant. So a lot of people very stupid. They say this is just graffitis. No, because most of the time they're carved in their secret sites where they do the ceremony, do the ritual. You don't allow graffitis in these secret sites, right? So also compared to these symbols in other regions, why Asians they go everywhere, bring these universal symbols with them because they're very, very significant to them, right? They mean a lot to them. This is why they go everywhere. They bring them with them. So, so I don't think they just. But I just don't understand why the mainstream just overlook them because they are very precious historical information left by the Asians to us. Because books don't look last long. Books
Yeah,
or
true.
like 2,000 years history, and the books, rotten very quickly. But rocks last very long, from 1000 years to 1,000 years. So if you want to look into the most ancient information, you have to look into the rocks, look into these petroglyphs. So I don't know why the mainstream academia is so stupid to overlook this very precious information.
Right.
So, right?
Yep, I agree. I definitely agree. All right, Vay. So, tell people where they can find you.
Oh, they can find me on X, follow me. I think I don't remember my X account, just VWI at DUO 3295. And anyway, okay.
I'll put
So
it up
you
here.
can find, most importantly, you can find my papers on academia.edu. You just
And I'll
search
have the links to those in the description.
yeah, it's in American Petroglyphs and a common cultural phenomenon between the Americas and other regions. You can find my papers there if you're interested to read them.
Very cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on. We'll have you again sometime soon.
I'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.